What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with our video to get those 10s and 20 views. Standard reaction. I had a few ideas working out, but I kind of got really lazy. Watched a few animes. Devil's a Part-Timer, Midnight Occult's Civil Servant, something like that. And I had this video kind of in the back burner, not really just reacting to, just kind of not just being waited to be reacted to. I am a giant fan of mythological creatures, so I found this page called Mythology Unleashed, and today we'll be reacting to monsters of American folklore. So let's see what cool American monsters we have. And away we go.
Throughout time, people across the world told each other tales of how they came to be, of heroes and monsters, romance and tragedy, death and rebirth. Mythology.
Chorna, or is it Charna? I did a Alistair Malachi Black, Sirius Black, and he does pop up. The Green Man
helped shape the ancient world, explaining the unexplainable. This is Mythology Unleashed.
10 out of 10 on that intro. Well done. Link to the original video will be in my descriptions, so then you can click there.
The continental United States is filled with legends of strange beasts and monsters. Cryptids stalking in the forests, lurking in the water, perhaps even hiding in your very town. These legends haunted American settlers and have even permeated into modern-day culture. This program will go into detail about some of the most famous legendary creatures from folktales and urban legends of post-colonial America.
And I'll tell you how many I know, because I'm pretty sure one of them should be actually within like 20 miles where I live. Not even. No, not even. Let's see, it's 7, like 10 miles from where I actually currently reside.
Our first creature is rooted in the folklore of the Pine Barrens in New Jersey.
And we're starting off, yes. This is, like I said, the haunted forest of South Jersey. Used to be pretty much what you see here. This urban legend is right around the corner from where I live. I've actually been to the house itself.
A beast colloquially known as the Jersey Devil, also called the Leeds Devil. Legend states that Jane Leeds of Estellville, New Jersey, was a mother of 12 children.
Where did you say? Because it's Smithville.
Jane Leeds of Estellville, New Jersey.
Must be the old name, but no, it's Smithville.
Was a mother of 12 children. When she discovered that she was pregnant with a 13th child, she cried out in despair that this child would be a devil. In 1735, Mother Leeds was in labor on a stormy night, while her friends gathered about her. Born as a normal child, the 13th child changed to a creature with hooves, a goat-like head, bat wings, and a forked tail. Shrieking in animalistic fury, the child thrashed everyone with its tail before flying up the chimney and heading into the wild. For more than 250 years, this mysterious creature is said to prowl through the marshes of southern New Jersey.
Hey, he got that part right. Supernatural said north. It's not. It's south. It's Atlantic County.
And emerge periodically to rampage through the towns and cities. Countless stories have circulated describing the devil's escapades, raiding chicken coops and farms, destroying crops, killing animals.
That is a cool looking one. Also, very funny thing. There's a bar Like if you go down this one street where the house is, like there's where you park, you can kind of walk the woods. But if you take like this road, it just goes straight down into a bar. It's hilarious.
Presence
It's like a clam bar or something like that.
has been seen and felt by many in at least 50 different towns when he emerges from his lair in the Pine Lands and wanders throughout southern New Jersey, sometimes intriguing and sometimes terrorizing the residents.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello, please. I saw this big monster. It had horns and teeth and looked like a kangaroo with giant wings.
Ma'am? Have you been drinking this evening?
Yeah, like I said, that is my local legend. I have been in the forest. We think we found it. This is a simple, like, kind of like, hey, if you ever go looking for like these haunted spots or like legendary, like mythological spots, one, make sure you're not trespassing. Don't get in too much trouble. And do it twice. Once in the day so you know exactly where you're going. And of course, once late at night when it's nice and dark.
The Nain Rouge, also called the Red Dwarf or the Demon of the Strait, is a trickster demon from Detroit, Michigan.
Never heard of this guy.
The Nain Rouge is described as a short, furry, imp-like creature with a red, hideous face and having glistening eyes and a grinning mouth displaying sharp, rotted teeth. According to various narratives surrounding the figure, Detroit's founder, Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac,
Really? Cadillac? Did not realize that where that came from.
was told by a fortune teller to appease the Nain Rouge. But upon encountering the creature, he beat it senseless until it fled.
Welcome to today's side quest, the store run against the clock. Just another day in the life of a Mike. Lemonade that hits harder for Mikes that go harder. The world needs more Mikes.
Stearns & Foster handcrafts every mattress using the finest materials, like indulgent memory foam and ultra-conforming inner springs for a beautiful mattress and indescribable...
Back. Ad skips. God, they suck.
As consequence, a string of bad luck befell Cadillac.
Yeah, he has a very big gas-guzzling car named after him.
He was charged with abuse of power and resigned to Louisiana, later returning to France, where he was briefly imprisoned and eventually lost his fortune.
Yeah, when you're told by like weird mystic people, hey, you should be nice to this person or creature, listen.
Like the Jersey Devil, the Nain Rouge is said to be a herald of bad luck. Sightings of the creature coincided with many of the region's lowest points, from the Battle of Bloody Run in 1763 to the 12th Street riots of 1967. Each spring, Detroit holds a costume community parade called the Marche du Nain Rouge, which the creature is traditionally chased out of the city. At the conclusion of the parade, an effigy of the Nain Rouge is destroyed, thus banishing the evil spirit from the city for another year.
Not doing a good job. He sucks. Much like their hockey team lately.
Lake Champlain is a 125-mile-long body of fresh water, nestled between New York and Vermont, and extending into southern Canada.
Which looks all great, but it's going to be cold as hell the bulk of the years.
This is the home of the legendary creature Champ, also called Champy.
America's Loch Ness Monster's cousin, more or less.
Like the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland,
Never seen it, but God, I knew that was going to be the reference.
Champ is an aquatic beast, described as reptilian or amphibious in makeup. Its appearance varies from resembling a plesiosaur or basilosaurus to a large serpent with horns. Stories of the aquatic monster lurking beneath the water's surface have been told since the emergence of a lake from the Champlain Sea over 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of like the story of Loch Ness. It's like, hey, as land kind of enclosed around the massive body of water, this creature got trapped.
Abenaki and Iroquois tribes residing in the Adirondacks told legends of a man-eating lake monster called Gitaskog or Tataskok. Early in the 18th century,
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Some of the biowater that big doesn't hold something that could kill people.
Abenakis warned French explorers about disturbing the waters of the lake so as to not disturb the serpent. Samuel de Champlain, whom the lake is named after,
No, like back to back, it's the French that are screwing things up.
is often erroneously credited with being the first European to sight Champ. But readings of his accounts show that he saw something near the St. Lawrence River. Reported sightings of Champ continue into the modern age, from an 1819 account of Captain Crumb to photographs and video in the 21st century.
Man, those old like bad cameras where like everything was blurry made everything more spooky.
Champ, whether a cryptid animal or mythical creature, is celebrated throughout Vermont and New York as a mascot for local businesses, children's books, and sports teams.
Well, the New Jersey Devil has a hockey team named after him. Come on.
The harbor of Gloucester, Massachusetts is located
Oh yeah, Massachusetts had to end up on this list.
just north of Boston on the lower part of Cape Ann, jutting out into the Atlantic Ocean. Since
If you notice, my foot just keeps falling asleep. I'm just trying to keep it up by moving it.
1638, sightings of a sea serpent have haunted the coast of the harbor town and nearby New England waters. The Gloucester sea serpent, also called the Cape Ann serpent or the Ipswich serpent, is described as being anywhere from 60 to 90 feet long, shaped entirely of keg-sized humps, having black, snake-like skin durable enough to repel musket fire.
Yeah, that makes sense. With it sounds like almost like a Titan boa type creature,
And eyes as large as pewter plates.
or a basilisk.
Sightings continued into the 19th century, with reports of it attacking small boats and fishing vessels.
Very good excuse. Like, oh yeah, it was attacked by the giant snake monster, not pirates.
As time would go on, sightings of the Gloucester sea serpent lessened more and more. Some believe the deterioration of the once fertile fishing areas off of New England due to overfishing may have caused the creature to search for new hunting grounds, or even go extinct. Many believe that it never existed, merely a misidentification of an existing creature, or an elaborate hoax.
Yeah, the only thing with these giant snake monsters, at least with the reptilian ones, areas like Boston and Massachusetts, the water would be way too cold for like those type of creatures. So
Others, however, believe the serpent is still out there, prowling the coastal waters of New England.
cold-blooded creatures would not do that too well in that cold area.
Since 1936, the town of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and surrounding counties
Oh God, when you have nothing but corn and land and nothingness, yeah, weird things happen. Like said in Church Cow Dog, weird things happen in the middle of nowhere.
have been the setting of an alleged sighting of a great canine-like monster, the Beast of Bray Road.
He looks like a good boy.
The beast is described as immense in stature, up to 7 feet tall and densely muscled, with a vaguely humanoid body type capable of both quadrupedal and bipedal locomotion.
I think in layman's terms that means standing upright, or running on all fours. Kind of looks like a werewolf. Kind of sounds like a werewolf.
As well as thick fur and a wolf-like head.
Werewolf?
Throughout the 20th and 21st centuries, alleged witnesses to the beast claim to have seen it crossing Bray Road, or have had their vehicles collide with it, only for the beast to shrug it off, unfazed.
Or it could be a druid.
In addition to these eyewitness reports, reports of claw marks embedded into vehicle doors and animal mutilations of deer and livestock partially eaten and mauled are abundant. A number of explanations for the legend have arisen. It could be a mutated or cryptid wild dog, a real-life werewolf, a subspecies of Bigfoot,
Bigfoot.
an escaped laboratory experiment, or an absurdly large wolf, a misidentified bear, or a
The bear is probably the most realistic, but
series of elaborate hoaxes. But the Beast of Bray Road is not the only wolf-like monster said to roam the United States. The Rougarou, or Loup-garou,
the Rougarou. Supernatural had this creature on there.
is
Well, somewhat.
said to prowl the bayous and marshlands of the greater New Orleans area of Louisiana.
You can do a whole video just on, like, New Orleans itself.
Similar to the Beast of Bray Road, the Rougarou is noted for having a human-like body with the head of a wolf or a dog. But unlike Wisconsin's man-wolf, the Rougarou is said to have been human at one point, similar to the myths of werewolves. According to Cajun folklore, a person becomes a Rougarou either when a person fails to observe Lent for 7 years in a row, or if they have been cursed by a witch.
Wow. I'll go with the witch one because there's nothing in the Bible saying if you skip Lent that many times you're gonna turn into a monster. I thought they were gonna go with the like Wendigo explanation from like Supernatural, like consuming human flesh.
During the day, the creature
Why does that look like Sam Winchester, aka Jason Ackles? No, Jared Padalecki.
maintains human form, remaining secretive of their condition for fear of being killed. But at night, a frightening metamorphosis takes place, and the Rougarou proceeds to prowl the fields and bayou, looking for prey. The unlucky individual, cursed as the Rougarou, is then under the spell for 101 days. After that time, the curse is transferred from person to person when the Rougarou draws the blood of another human being, and then the cycle continues. The best-known method to protect one's home from a Rougarou involves placing a colander or 13 pennies or stones on the doorstep or the windowsill. Legend has it
What? They don't like copper?
that the Rougarou is fixated on counting, but does not know how to count beyond the number 12. This method would perplex the creature, delaying its approach until escape or help could be found, or until the sun rises.
Put a lot more pennies in 13, just really screw it up.
Superstition of early German immigrants tells of the Snallygaster,
One, that sounds like an STD, and that is a funky looking chicken.
a bizarre chimera of bird, mammal, and reptile, said to haunt Frederick County, Maryland, and the adjacent areas of South Mountain and Middletown Valley. Its appearance is similar to that of the cockatrice of medieval Europe, with the half-bird features of a siren, and additional attributes of reptilian scales, a metallic beak lined with razor-sharp teeth, and even octopus-like tentacles. Snallygaster
Well, it sounds like Cthulhu.
was said to fly high in the night sky, emitting a cry
My foot is just not staying awake. Hold on a second. I'm going to try stretching my leg out because it's getting bad. Yeah, Cthulhu.
akin to a train whistle, and swoop down on unsuspecting livestock or children out past dark, and carry them off for its meal. For generations, the story of the Snallygaster never changed. No one ever saw the Snallygaster,
There's a Wolfman versus that thing.
but residents believed it was there. The monster's legend was heavily utilized in the Prohibition era. Moonshiners in the forests and mountains of northern Maryland co-opted the old story in an effort to scare revenue agents away and explain the sounds of their manufacturing. Since then, alleged encounters with the cryptid began to appear in newspapers even outside the state of Maryland. Reports of footprints found in New Jersey, a close call with a woman and
Hey, anything in Jersey's probably the devil.
roosting in a barn in West Virginia, and sightings flying in Ohio. Towards the end of Prohibition, the Snallygaster is said to have died in Washington County when it was overcome by the fumes of a moonshine still and fell.
What's about there, Roosevelt? Yeah, that's only Roosevelt.
When it was overcome by the fumes of a moonshine still and fell from the sky into a 2,500-gallon vat of alcohol.
Order to stop this.
Game looks good, but it's probably only for the PC.
According to the story, revenue agents soon arrived and destroyed both the vat and the carcass of the beast. No reports have been made of the Snallygaster since.
Yeah, it sounds like German moonshiners just created the idea of this thing just to keep people away.
Another creature spawned from the depths of Maryland folklore is the Goat Man.
This one I have heard of.
Legend has it, in the 1950s, the United States government had experimented with gene-splicing animal and human DNA in an attempt to enhance the physical strength and senses of people. While working with domestic goats, a scientist's experiment went awry.
It's like think Man-Bat from the old Batman animated series.
And the doctor was
Or video games.
transformed into a human-goat hybrid. Similar in appearance to the satyrs of Greek mythology, this hideous creature is full of unbridled rage and takes his fury out on any who cross his path.
Yeah, when you were probably like a nerd. Now you're a hairy goat creature. You're definitely not getting laid.
Media attention of the Goat Man first started in 1971, when it was reported that the creature had decapitated a local dog. Stories would continue to flood in about the Goat Man, attacking and chasing teenagers, slaughtering people and eating their entrails, and killing domestic animals.
Even a sociopath or cult ritual, just blame him the Goat Man.
Sightings of the creature, whether true or hoaxes, continue to be reported even from outside of Maryland, as far north as Ontario, Canada, and as far south as Texas.
Ontario. Come on.
In the late
Ontario.
1960s, legends of the Mothman circulated
Oh, I want to say Fallout has a Mothman Easter egg.
throughout the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Mothman, named in homage to the comic book character Batman, is said to be a bird-like creature, roughly 7 feet tall, with a massive wingspan, gray in color, with burning red eyes. In some early sightings, Mothman was said to not have a head, only a pair of eyes set near the tops of its shoulders. Some witnesses recalled seeing a head, but one without features. Some said his wings were not feathered, while others said that the wings had small patches of feathers.
Yeah, it's kind of like the more vague your description, the less likely it's true.
The
But then again, like, they say the worst thing is like personal eyewitnesses because they all will see something slightly different.
creature was also said to have the ability to take to the air without the need to flap its wings. It could hypnotize with its glowing eyes, or even invade dreams and cause nightmares.
Well, if you did see a giant moth-like creature flying around, you'd be scared too.
The first sighting of the creature happened November 12th, 1966, when 5 men were preparing a gravesite for a burial. 3 days later, 2 married couples were driving late at night near an abandoned TNT plant.
An abandoned TNT plant?
They noticed that the door to the plant seemed to have been ripped off at its hinges, and saw the creature appear seemingly from nowhere. Terrified, they sped off in their car, but the creature took flight and was able to keep pace with them, even when they
4TM1. To me, does that not look like Michael Myers right there?
sped at 100 miles an hour.
Unlikely, cars didn't really go that fast.
Other mysterious phenomena included UFO activity, electrical and telephone disturbances, poltergeist activity, phantom dogs, animal mutilations, all attributed to Mothman. The mayhem culminated on December 15th, 1967, exactly 13 months after Mothman's first appearance. The Silver Bridge near Point Pleasant collapsed suddenly, sending 46 people to their deaths.
Oh, damn.
Survivors of the tragedy claim to have seen the Mothman flying overhead. Most explanations for this cryptid sightings are misidentifications of great horned owls, sandhill cranes, or even large herons, while the red eyes are believed to be animal eyes reflecting a light source.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, you do see that when you look at like dogs or cats at night.
But many still believe Mothman is still out there, causing tragedy and striking terror where
Could be just a own a bad luck. Like it's not him doing it, but it's like where he goes. You like, oh, it's like, oh, I saw him.
wherever he goes.
Or he would try to warn people, but they're because he's can't speak, they don't understand.
Last, but certainly not least, is a creature that has baffled cryptozoologists and avid monster hunters for generations. Bigfoot. The creature is known.
Maybe he is just blurry. That's twice as scary. Now we have a large, out-of-focus monster roaming the countryside. Thank you, Mitch Hedberg, for that great bit of comedy.
By many colloquial names, such as Sasquatch in the northwest and Skunkate in the southeast. But no matter the beast's name, it is universally described as resembling something of a missing link between human beings and great apes. It is described as being covered in dense fur, putrid smelling, being bipedal in locomotion.
Well, yeah, of course he's gonna smell bad. He lives in the woods. He probably never showered.
Having long arms that dangle to its knees, and being immense in size.
Okay, we need him to play basketball for Team USA because no one will stop us.
With reports of it being up to 10 feet tall, with massive feet. Hence the name, Bigfoot. Supposed tracks left by the creature sometimes measure as long as 24 inches in length and up to 8 inches wide. In addition to large footprints, signs of Bigfoot in the area include hearing strange sounds such as wood knocking or grunts of non-native fauna, large rocks being thrown seemingly from nowhere, leaves and brush crudely woven for large nests, and unexplained property damage. The existence of Bigfoot has long been a mystery, with hundreds upon hundreds of sightings, photographs, and alleged interactions being reported every year. Many
Why does he have boobs? Whatever.
such reports wind up being elaborate hoaxes or cases of misidentification with other large furred creatures.
Yeah, Bigfoot could just be a dwarf giant. Like we have dwarves human. It just could be the little person of giants.
Such as bears or bison. Could Bigfoot really exist? Perhaps an elusive primate species or a remnant of the Ice Age? Or would it be too difficult for a creature or race of creatures so large in size to go undetected for so long? Both skepticism and optimism remain high across the country. The legends of the United States have spawned a
Bigfoot could be one of those creatures because of the size and natural hair. It survives cold that it just kept migrating to places where people just don't go.
plethora of terrifying and intriguing creatures, from demons of colonial times to cryptid animals. They are said to be everywhere, in the forests and the mountains, in lakes and coastal waters, even in cities and towns. Whether or not these legends are based in fact or superstition, the creatures of American folklore have inspired both terror and intrigue in the hearts of people across the world.
Go to click this. But yeah, that is some of the monsters of early America. Yeah, the Jersey Devil is actually not far from where I live, like I said at the start of the video. It's one of the cooler ones I like. There's many different reasons why they think that whole story. That's it. That's all I have. If you want me to check out more mythological stuff, just tell me in the description. That's it. I'll see you weird people later.